I got hired when George returned from overseas shooting Star Wars, and he wanted to fire John Dykstra, who was visual effects supervisor. And everyone said, you can't fire him or we'll leave and you won't have a movie. So he was forced to bring in a new production crew. We got it organized, and we did finish 365 shots in like 4 months, 6 months max. It wasn't about power or control or ego. It was about getting the job done. A lot of people cared at Industrial Light and Magic about what it looked like. Everyone cared what it looked like. I was just time and money, you know. I was not really allowed to be creative in those days. I was one of the people that tried hard, and I think that is sort of what I've done my whole life, is try hard. I'm always the one, I'll do it, okay, I'll do it. So I think that is what made me so powerful at Industrial Light and Magic, and how I rose from production assistant to head of production and then director of marketing. Once I had children, I switched from production, which I knew I couldn't do, you know, launch the morning crew and the evening crew. I wanted to work, you know, 9 to 6. When I stood up in front of the whole company, and I had a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old on either hand, and I was like 8 months pregnant, I remember saying, I want to have your babies, and everybody laughed. Nobody signed up. Nobody. Starting the daycare was a legacy for me. To this day, people say, thank you. Even though my 2 kids were there the first day, it has been full ever since then. I think daycare is not a perk, it's a necessity. I think if you want to keep people, keep their children happy, you will not leave for 25 or 50% more money. You can't be stolen from the company if your children are happy in daycare. You know, USC did a study about why there are not women in the industry, why only 5 women of color have ever called themselves effects supervisors. And USC determined that the reason is that women have children and job sharing is not a feasible option. The only women I know of who are effects supervisors have no kids. That's pathetic. When we all started on Star Wars, none of us had a family. You know, young people, they work really hard because they don't have a family yet. I really care about the next generation of workforce and where they're gonna come from. I think that mentorship is key to getting a job. Next Generation Workforce was formed when I was retired. I started it as a nonprofit, and it got nonprofit status immediately. Everybody wants to share their knowledge. I mean, all these people that I've asked, they have great connections, and that's really what it takes in this industry, is the connections, and someone like Bill George to say, oh, this person's fantastic. They're a great compositor, or they're a great technician, or they're a great artist, or their eye is really solid. Young people coming into the workforce is of value. I'm looking to the student population. I'm looking to the best and the brightest students for next generation workforce, because I'm quite concerned, where are we going to find them?
My name is Johnny Perez, and I work at Industrial Light and Magic in San Francisco. So I met Rose through the Visual Effects Society. I got paired up with Daniel Cavey. He's a producer at Lucasfilm Franchise in San Francisco.
I have seen the results, and I did a survey where I contacted all the mentors and all the mentees and said, should I continue doing this? Is this worthwhile? And everyone said yes.
When the new generation is coming in and working with the older generation, I feel like the newer generation can bring a certain perspective that the older generation might not have. Not only the industry, but like just the world in general. And I think having all those different types of perspectives can only really benefit in a work environment.
Every director that you meet wants something that has never been done before. And so fearless is a huge, important quality, and I think young people have it in spades. So I do believe that I can help people, young people. They are fearless.